Hey, my name is Jordan Alexander Speed. I'm 20 years old. I was born in a little town called Pitești, and that's in Romania in Europe. I guess before I was even born, I was an alcoholic. My mom drank when I was inside of her. She did drugs. So when I came out, I was struggling right off the get-go. About 4 months in, I was put up for adoption because my mom just kept drinking and doing bad stuff. And I got adopted by these great parents that I got now. I moved to Canada when I was 1 year old, or 1 year old. I guess I started getting in trouble when I was 6 years old, messing around, stealing my parents' money and stuff like that. I was rebellious, always picking on kids. I guess in grade 9, I started drinking with a few friends. I started getting the Mickeys out, starting to smoke some marijuana, smoking the Cubans, you know, thought we were cool. Coming home drunk. But I guess it progressed when I got into grade 10. I went to a new school, didn't know anyone. So I wanted to become popular. So I started partying, using drugs, using steroids, you know, got involved in a gang. I was fighting quite a bit. I guess one of my biggest fears was being accepted. So I put on that tough act, like don't mess with me. And the first time I got arrested was middle in grade 10. I got arrested just for being a drunken mess. And I remember spending the first night in jail, and I got put with 7 other guys. And this big dude came up to me and told me to sit down in this corner or he'd beat me to a pulp. When I graduated, I guess 2 months in, after I graduated, I started getting involved with this gang, and I needed protection, so I carried a gun with me, and I wanted to get big, you know, because all my life was surrounded by drugs, sex, booze, fights, parties, right? And the day I got kicked out was when my mom saw my gun in my dresser drawer, and when she looked through my Bible case, my Bible wasn't, I didn't have a Bible in there. I had a lot of needles, a lot of syringes, because I was juicing it pretty hard. So I got kicked out, and I didn't have anywhere to go. My parents didn't care, so I needed something to survive, so I started stealing. And I worked my way up from like a couple $100 to about $4,000 a day, stealing refrigerators, shoes, snowboards, bikes, you name it, clothes. And I sold it for really cheap so I can get a hold of my drug. I guess I got caught one day at this one store, and I got caught with 3,500 over, and they got arrested, and they found some other stuff, drug paraphernalia and all that, and I was scared, pretty scared, and I knew I was going to go to jail for quite some time. And I prayed to God that I'd get let go of, right? And my dad came down to the cops where I was getting arrested, and he pulled me out, and I got saved because I was underage. After that, I moved back home about a month later, something after the summer, and then it started progressing where I was drinking every day, doing drugs, fighting, being really disrespectful to people. I thought it was the shit almost, you know, like don't mess with me. I guess there's one time we were downtown Canada day, and this guy touched me, and within like 2 seconds, like 6 guys surrounded this one guy, and I found out it was one of my best buddies and my sister, and they got let go of. And later on that night, I kept talking trash, and I got beaten up, got jumped by 3 guys, and busted the lips and broken nose and stuff. And later on it progressed. I kept getting arrested. I was drinking and driving quite a bit. this one time we went to Halifax for my cousin's wedding, and I got caught under the influence out of town, and I got arrested. So I spent the night in jail and didn't even know what the heck was going on. Next morning I wake up and I'm in a jail cell, and I was freaking out because I'm in Halifax, don't even know where my parents are. Get out, 6 hours before, or 6 hours later, I had to go to my cousin's wedding. And I remember someone in my family said I was a disgrace to the family. I moved from Kelowna because my life was getting so bad, but I never knew it was gonna get this bad when I moved. I guess I spent 3 nights in jail. I went to court about 7 times in the matter of 6 months. Like, one time was, I went to a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning, had like 3 jugs of beer. I was already hammered. I was driving already by then. Then we went to pick up a 40. We polished that pretty fast. And then we just swam a bit. Then later went out that night. No one stopped me. Got in my vehicle, drove downtown. Went to this restaurant. Had a couple more drinks. Got in an altercation with some guy, so I got kicked out. Then we went to this club, and I was probably there for maybe like 3 minutes. Got kicked out. It was probably about 12 o'clock. I started driving home. Got in an accident. Just hit a barrier, but I left and left my fender there too. And I just kept driving. I was so intoxicated, I was almost blind. And kept driving along, and my car started smoking. And I was like, okay, kind of just ignored it, and kept driving more. And all of a sudden, bam, my car caught on fire. So I pulled over. Within 5 seconds, my car blew up. It was pretty scary because I would have been dead, and someone that was important to me would have been dead too. And I caught an orchard on fire, right? And I don't even know what's going on, and the next second, bam, like I got tackled, got arrested, don't even know what the heck's going on. Next morning, wake up in a jail cell, all blacked out, and I get this big, like 30-page paper about what happened. Lost my license, and the crummy thing was I had my dad's brand new golf clubs in there, and my mom's iPod, and some new stuff that I just bought. Anyways, I thought that was bad. I went to court. So I'm on probation for 15 months. Lost my license. I had lost for 3 years, kind of thing, because I had a DUI before. And 2 weeks later, I went to this bush party, and I thought I'd be fine, you know, not drinking. I can do it. Maybe 45 minutes in, boom, shotgun beers. I had a Mickey of something, and I shotgun that. Put it down like a beer bong, and after that, probably about 4 o'clock, I black out. Threatening people, you know, want to kill you. Started getting reckless, wanted to fight this one guy who was really getting me mad. And then I assaulted someone that night, and didn't know what was going on at the time. And someone said they were gonna call a cop, and I was like, okay. So I booked it, ran away. I remember looking at the party again, and I see like little lights, like this big, and there's like 20 of them, and I knew they were cops, and I heard the canines coming, you know, and I went back to the party, got set up by someone so the cops could arrest me, and I walked up to the cops when they had their guns, and the dogs walked up to them like I had a gun between my waist. They drew their guns, and they said stop, and if I walked one more step, they would have shot me, and I would have been dead. But God made my body collapse. I collapsed right there, and then I got arrested. The next morning I woke up, had a huge document, like 60 pages of like what happened, you know, so many threats, a couple assaults, you know, I had some restraining orders on some certain people. So I had to go to court for that right now, and my life, that's when I hit rock bottom. I remember that night I prayed to God because I knew I was going to go to jail for quite some time. I just prayed to Him that He'd show me the way. And I moved back to Kelowna. And then I got introduced to church, to God, by a special friend that I just met from a AA group. And then it progressed, and I went to this one church and learned a little bit. I was still shy about church, you know, because I never lived in a church environment, like a Christian environment. My parents were atheists, so I didn't know anything about that kind of stuff. So I went to that, checked it out, and I thought it was really cool. So I went back again, and then I got invited to come to this one church. And ever since then, I was like, wow, God is amazing, you know. God made certain plans for us, and I learned that God died on the cross for us for our sins. And you know, like we will go to heaven, even though I've done wrong. We will go. And now I'm striving, like I'm so hungry for God. There's a saying that got stuck in my head. We have to have 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Well, if you go to church once a week, you're gonna be starving for God. So I go to church almost every day. I go to youth, I help people, and like, wow, I can talk to people. You know, I had a huge anger problem. Like, all I wanted to do, if you talked to me or you didn't if you looked at me without talking, I'd come and punch you out. And now it's not like that. I go shake people's hands, welcome to the church. I'm opening the doors to people. I'm starting to read the Bible, and that is one wicked tool. It's like bigger than a gun, but it's not violent. It's like, you know, you open that thing and it's got so much knowledge, like it makes me feel dumb, you know. So I'm so thankful that I got God, and I got in this program now. I'm going to Teen Challenge. I'm super excited to see what's gonna go on. And yeah, like God's got some amazing stuff for me later on. Like I gave my life to Jesus about a month ago, and wow, you know, I can do anything and conquer anything with Him. And even though I know sometimes I used to isolate myself, and for people who are struggling right now, you're never alone. You always have God. He's always right beside you. And if you pray and open that Bible, magic, something good's gonna come out of it, you know. So I'm just so thankful. And thank you for listening to my story, and I hope everyone keeps coming. But here's more people's stories, you know. Jesus is an awesome guy. So yeah, thank you.